Hey, this is Chris with Copper Traces, and this is going to be a short demo showing a couple different ways to quickly create new sequences using Seq, which is a 64-step sequencer. So I've already got a sequence programmed in. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and go to Edit and Initialize. And so now you can see it's just all rests. And so for this first sequence, I'm going to start by just playing right over top of play. You can see the sequence moving through here, and you can just go ahead and add in notes. And you can add in some legatos. You can also add in octave changes, up or down. You could add in some rests too. And then you can also add some accents, which in this patch are driving just little FM hits. Alright, so that's sounding pretty cool. So now I'm going to go over to Edit and go ahead and save that. So go ahead and save it to slot 5. There are 12 slots in total. And now that it's saved, I can go and initialize again. And now we're back to nothing. Right, so now for the second sequence, I'm going to do a little bit differently. I'm going to grab a random sequence. First, I'm going to change the sequence length to be any number up to 64, but I'll go for 16 steps. And I'll go ahead and get a random sequence. So you can just grab random sequences like this. Of course, you can hear it's chromatic, so to fix that, I'm going to go over to Scale, add in some requantization. Of course, you can use this sort of live. You can use it as a composition tool, but I'll just go ahead and set up a standard C scale there. Alright, and so I can go and grab more sequences until I find something I like. Alright, that sounds pretty good, so I'll go ahead and save this to slot 6. And now it's possible to jump back and forth between these using Q, and so those are the 3 sequences, and you can see it blinks until the end of the current sequence, so that way you always stay in time. Alright, so that's working. So now we can go back to initialize again. And so for the next sequence, I want to do something a bit different. So I'm going to add some algorithm, some algorithmic randomness. And so I'll turn algorithm on. It's only going to jump 1 semitone. We'll go both directions, and then I'm going to turn on evolve. And what that does is it means that whenever this algorithm is applied and it changes the note, it's going to save that change, and that means you'll get an evolving sequence that'll keep changing as it goes. And I also need to turn on the randomness, because the randomness controls how often the algorithm is applied. So I'll go for, let's say, 35%. And so now you still have it initialized, so I need to add in some notes, and so I'll just play one note here. You can see it's already starting to evolve away from that note that I entered in. And again, we have the same issue with not being in any scale, just being chromatic, so I'll go ahead and turn the scale back on. And so now you got an evolving sequence that's moving around and changing. I'll go ahead and save that. I'll go ahead and save it to slot 7. So now again we can go to Q and move through these sequences. So if we go back to the one with the algorithm on it, you can see it's still there, and it's also still evolving, so if I set it all back, you can see it's still evolving away. So it saves all the different settings, the clock divider, all that stuff is saved right along with that. So one last thing to look at is, I'll go ahead and recall the first sequence again. So you can also freeze everything by going to load, and that lets you click through and look at all the different steps and make other changes as well. Alright, so that's been a couple different ways to create new sequences very quickly with Seek. Yep, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.